Hello everyone, Sabrina Vibe here, and today I'll be reading an extract called The Law of Service by James Allen. It is so good to be with you all once again. To the worldling who is beginning to aspire towards higher things, the saint, such as a sweet Saint Francis of Assisi or a conquering Saint Anthony, is a glorious and inspiring spectacle. To the saint, an equally enrapturing sight is that of the sage, sitting serene and holy, the conqueror of sin and sorrow, no more tormented by regret and remorse, and whom even temptation can never reach. And yet, even the sage is drawn on by a still more glorious vision, that of the Saviour actively manifesting his knowledge in selfless works and rendering his divinity more potent for good by sinking himself in the throbbing, sorrowing, aspiring heart of mankind. And only is true service this, to forget oneself in love towards all, to lose oneself in working for the whole. O thou vain and silly man, who thinkest that thy many works can save thee, who chained to all error, talkest loudly of thyself, thy work, and thy many sacrifices, and magnifiest thine own importance. Know this, that though thy fame fill the whole earth, all thy work shall come to dust, and thou thyself be reckoned lower than the least in the kingdom of truth. Only the work that is impersonal can live. The works of self are both powerless and perishable, where duties, howsoever humble, are done without self-interest and with joyful sacrifice. There is true service and enduring work. Where deeds, however, brilliant and apparently successful, are done from love of self, there is ignorance of the law of service, and the work perishes. It is given to the world to learn one great and divine lesson, the lesson of absolute unselfishness. The saints, sages, and saviors of all time are they who have submitted themselves to this task and have learned and lived it. All the scriptures of the world are framed to teach this one lesson, and all the great teachers reiterate it. It is too simple for the world, which, scorning it, stumbles along in the complex ways of selfishness. A pure heart in the end of all religion is the beginning of divinity. To search for this righteousness is to walk the way of truth and peace, and he who enters this way will soon perceive that immortality, which is independent of birth and death, and will realize that in the divine economy of the universe, the humblest effort is not lost. The divinity of a Krishna, a Gautama, or a Jesus is the crowning glory of self-abnegation, the end of the soul's pilgrimage in matter and mortality, and the world will not have finished its long journey until every soul has become as these and has entered into the blissful realization of its own divinity. Thank you all so much for your time and attention.